Story, of course, is the launch of three flagship schemes the Prime Minister will be launching today. This day has all the makings of going down in history as one which saw a renewed pledge for India's urban resurgence being put into motion. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch three mega flagship schemes aimed at transforming urban India, including the one for 100 smart cities, the Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, or Amrut, for 500 cities, and housing for all by 2022 in urban areas. Here's a report on that.
In a major attempt at transforming the urban infrastructure, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch Smart City, Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation project and Housing for All on Thursday. The cost of these three projects will be more than 3 lakh crore rupees. With a total outlay of 98,000 crore rupees for the next 5 years, 48,000 crore rupees has been earmarked for Smart City project and 50,000 crore rupees will be spent on Amrit. Prime Minister Modi will also announce the number of smart cities to be allotted to states. It is likely that 20 cities might be shortlisted for the Smart City project in the first phase. Countries such as Singapore, Japan, France and the United States have shown interest in partnering with India on Smart City project.
देश में बढ़ते हुए शहरी उनका आबादी एक बड़ा चुनौती है। इस चुनौती को हम एक अवकाश के रूप में, अपॉर्चुनिटी के रूप में परिवर्तित करना चाहते हैं। इसलिए आने वाले 5 साल में सरकार ने स्मार्ट सिटी मिशन और अमृत मिशन और हाउसिंग फॉर ऑल, इन तीनों विषयों में काफ़ी पैसा खर्च करने वाले 3 लाख करोड़ से ज़्यादा पैसा सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा और स्थानीय इकाइयों के द्वारा और साथ ही साथ कुछ फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन के द्वारा खर्चा होगा।
But let's understand what is a smart city. Smart cities are intended to enhance the quality of urban life by providing a clean and sustainable environment. Smart cities will also have 24-hour water and power supply. Smart cities will have sanitation and solid waste management facility. Smart cities will have efficient public transportation and affordable housing for poor. Smart cities will also have the robust internet connectivity.
We have come out with a new mission called as Atal Urban Renewal Mission for Transformation. This requires huge amount of money. The government have committed to spend 48,000 crores on building smart cities, 50,000 crores on Atal Mission over the next 5 years. For the housing mission, we are proposing to provide a subsidy for interest subvention. We need at least 3 lakh crores for this housing sector itself.
Meanwhile, Amrit will focus on ensuring basic infrastructure services such as water supply, transport and development of green spaces and parks with special provision for meeting the needs of children. Analysts believe that these three schemes will play a crucial role in boosting infrastructure of the country. Arun Sharma, DD News.
And to talk more about the three flagship programs of the government that will be launched today at around 10:30 this morning by the Prime Minister at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi, we are joined in the studios by a correspondent, Arun Sharma. Arun, welcome to the Breakfast Show. What will be the criteria for selection of the 100 smart cities and 500 Amrut cities, and what sets these two projects apart?
See, the criteria would be very transparent. First of all, it is expected that 20 cities would be in phase 1. Now, all the cities have applied for this smart city project. That means every city is enthusiastic or very keen to get this smart city project, but not all the cities would be under this. For that, the cities will have to fulfill certain criteria. That means they'll have to have certain kind of basic infrastructure first of all. Then and then only they qualify for this smart city project if in case they want the smart city project. That means in the first phase, it is likely that what all we are also hearing from the ministries that only 20 cities would be allotted the smart city tagline, and also the Amrit of construction of 500 Amrit cities will also be given on the basic as far as if in case the cities having the basic infrastructure such as decent transportation, a power supply, decent power supply. That means not 24/7, but yes, a decent power supply, and also the water supply to all. But
is it being defined anywhere, Arun? What exactly is a smart city? Because people have different ideas of what a smart city should really constitute. People think
I mean, you have raised the point. When for the first time I heard about the smart city, all the dreamy pictures came to my mind that we would be having some skyscrapers, we'll be having some 4 or 5 flyovers over each other. That was the basic concept. But yes,
the smart city would be giving the answer to the infrastructural needs of the country. That means we won't be creating infrastructure, we would be creating next generation infrastructure. For an example,
delivery of gas cylinders shouldn't be there in a smart city at all. It should be all pipe.
It's a pipeline. In many cities in Delhi, in NCR region, we have pipeline system in Delhi. Okay.
No water tankers.
No water tanker, exactly. So all these things would be sorted out in this smart city project. Second thing, we have seen multi-layered parking in some of the areas in Delhi. That would be there in these smart cities. Second thing, we always compare India and China. Obviously, many analysts do that. In China, in Shanghai basically itself, there are more than 10,000 skyscrapers, and Shanghai is an example of smart city. That means, do we have more than 10,000 skyscrapers? No. We would be coming out with an idea that there should be basic infrastructure. That means we should have, the smart cities should have everything online, first of all. There should be digital economy as far as smart city is concerned. Second thing, we should have the basic requirements such as power supply, power backup, 24/7 water supply, a decent transportation system in the economy, like
public transportation.
Because in Delhi we have metros. In many metros we have metro trains. That means these smart cities will also be having this kind of metro facility, power backup, everything. So it would be a dreamy city, and obviously it would be giving answer to the infrastructure of the next generation.
So
and not
you've talked about Shanghai, you've talked about skyscrapers in China, and India has many states and cities have entered into sister city relationships and smart city agreements with a number of cities abroad. So can we expect an imitation or emulation of those of infrastructure in those cities to those places with which agreements have been reached?
Oh, absolutely, Munmun. See, many countries like Singapore, Japan, USA, Canada have shown interest in partnering with government's smart city project. That means they would be transferring their technology to India. That means if we talk about, for example, let's say Shanghai, there was an agreement of the twin city between India and China as well. So if in case China comes forward in developing this smart city, that means they would be transferring their technology as to how they have developed their cities. For example, in China, China is focusing on next generation infrastructure. That means they are creating multi-level parking. They are creating multi-level housing, because as the population is increasing in the country, that means you have to create multi-level or the multi-story buildings so that the population, the reason to this increasing population can be sorted out. So these cities or these countries would be giving their technology, their out-of-the-box ideas as to how they are creating their cities, and we can imitate that cities. So that would be idea for this.
And of course, housing for all then becomes even more important, and which is why I guess a lion's share of the money that's been allocated till 2022 is going to housing for all. And apart from emulating the Chinese model, the government also has to see that there's no glut as well. So the people need to respond to these schemes themselves.
Exactly. Housing for all, according to me, would be the toughest task or the challenge for the government, because we need to create 2 crore houses for our urban society or urban population. That means we require close to 58,000 acres of land. It's a daunting task. That means what are the challenges? Government needs a land availability. Government needs faster approval, and this housing for all is a states and center subject. That's
land pooling could be a big answer. It's happening in Delhi.
It's happening in Delhi. That could be an answer, but we'll have to wait and watch at what exactly happens. What Prime Minister Narendra Modi announces today, how this housing for all mechanism will actually work out, because there are many challenges. Government will also have to give some kind of interest subvention to the people to buy houses.
And PPP model.
Would definitely be on the agenda. And second thing, they'll have to motivate the private sector, because until unless you motivate the private sector, if it is not coming for building this housing for all scheme, I think this task cannot be done, because private sector, what it needs is lower interest rate loans. It needs easy availability and the faster availability of land. That is what private sector is also looking for.
Even when public sector does construction, it normally subcontracts to the private sector.
Yes, exactly.
So the private sector
ultimately you have to give boost to the private sector in terms of easy availability of loan and land, and then only you can complete this.
All right, so a number of challenges once the rollout happens. Thank you so much, Arun, for speaking to us on The Breakfast Show.
Thank you.